So we are back with paper 3 this time around of February-March 2022. So the first question we have: one day, Mahika records the number of teachers and students who cycle to school. Complete the frequency column in the table. So the frequency column, the first one is 5, while the second one is 23. The next question: work out the percentage of people who cycle that are students. To find the percentage of the students that cycle, we put the frequency of the students over the total frequency multiplied with 100. So that would give us 82.1428. Round off to 3 significant figure would give you 82.1%. Question 1b. Mahika records how 120 students from Year 1 and Year 2 travel to school. Each student walks, cycles, or travels by bus. 48 students are in Year 1, so that 48 students is right here. 77 students walk and 5 students in Year 2, whereas 36 students travel by bus and 4/9 of the students who travel by bus are in Year 1. 4/9 of those who travel by bus are, which is 36, so 4/9 multiplied by 36 is 16. So 16 is in Year 1 who the students that travel by bus. And the rest, we can find it by evaluating through the numbers that we have here. The next question: one of the 120 students is chosen at random. Work out the probability that these students doesn't travel by bus to school. So we have a total number of students that travel by bus are 36 students. So the total number is 120. So 120 minus 36 students. So we have 84 of them that are not traveling by bus. So the probability that this student doesn't travel by bus is 84 over the total number of students, which is 120, and then it is equal to 0.7. Next, there have been 24 complaints about one of the buses. The complaints are: the bus is late, the price is too high, or the bus is crowded. Complete the table. So the complaint for the late, the frequency is 10, for the price is 6% complained it, and for the crowd is 8 people that complain. To find the pie chart sector angle, first we need to find angle per frequency. So we know in a complete cycle there is 360, so our total frequency is 24. So 360 divided by 24, that gives you for each frequency 15. So simply to find the pie chart sector angle for late complaint is by taking each frequency, which is 10, multiplying it by the angle per frequency, which is 15, and so we will get 150. So do the same for the rest of the two complaints, and you will get 90 and 120 respectively. So using your protractor, measure the angle and draw the pie chart as shown here. Question 2a, calculate the interior angle of a regular pentagon. So to find the interior angle of a regular polygon, we go by the formula n minus 2 times 180 divided by n, where n is the number of sides of the regular polygon. Since pentagon is 5-sided regular polygon, we substitute our n with 5. So 5 minus 2 times 180 divided by 5 will give us 108 degree 2b, the diagram shows three congruent regular pentagons and a triangle. So these are the pentagons. So we know each angle here makes up 108, 108, 108, and all these are 108 because they are pentagons. BI says, work out the value of x, give a geometrical reasons for your answer. So, to find our x, since we know that these three are 108 degree each, so to find for x, we just have to take 360 minus 108 minus 108 and minus another 108. So that will give us 36. Reason is being because angles at a point sums up to 360 degree. BII, work out the value of y, give a geometrical reasons for your answer. So if we see, our y is right here and it is in a triangle, and I noticed that this triangle is an isosceles triangle because two sides are the same. So to find the value of y, we just have to take 180 because this whole triangle sums up 180 minus with the 36 that we got for our x value and divide it by 2 to find the y value, which will give us 72. And the reason will be angles in a triangle sums up to 180. Find the ratio x to y, give your answer in its simplest form. So to find the ratio, we just take the biggest number that we gotten, which is 72, divided by smaller number, which is 36 angle here. So we notice difference is 2, and it's therefore, since it's x to y, therefore is 1 to 2, our final answer. Question 3a, the diagram shows three quadrilaterals A, B, and C on 1 cm square grid. 3a1, write down the mathematical name for quadrilateral B. It is a trapezium. B, work out the area of quadrilateral B. Give the units of your answer. The formula to find the area of the trapezium goes by a plus b divided by 2 times width height, where our a and b are the parallel sides respectively, and h represents the height of it. So one of the parallel sides that we have is 6, and the other one we have is 2, and the height is 4. Keying them into calculator will give our answer as 16 cm square. Measure angle W. So using a protractor, measure the angle W and you should get 117 degree. Describe fully the single transformation that maps quadrilateral A onto quadrilateral B. So quadrilateral A to quadrilateral B. So here I notice that this is actually being enlarged. For enlargement, we have to mention that it is being enlarged, its center of enlargement, and its scale factor. To find the scale factor, here if we count, we have 1 and 2, but on the other side here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's being enlarged by a scale factor of 2. So we simply say it is an enlargement by the scale factor of 2 to the center to -2, because after we have drawn lines from two distinct of similar points, they meet at 2 and -2. Hence, it is our center of enlargement. Describe fully the single transformation that maps quadrilateral A onto quadrilateral C. So, A to C. A to C, I notice it is being rotated 90 degree through the points -2, 4. So since it is 3 marks, we have to mention the rotation, its direction, and as well as its center, and that will give you the full marks. B says the diagram shows a parallelogram and a line AB on a 1 cm² grid. On the grid, complete a triangle ABC that has the same area as the parallelogram. These two here, they make up one box because we have one empty part here. This empty part is actually being included here. So this is actually one box. So one box here, we have two boxes here. So that is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and this is also a one box, so it's 18. Now we have to include 18 complete boxes in our triangle as well. So let's go with the half-sided first. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since 6 halves will make up 3 whole boxes. So we have 3 whole boxes here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So our diagram is correct. Question 4a. X, Y, and Z lie on a circle, center O. Write down the mathematical name of the line OX. So we know OX is a radius from origin to the circumference. Y that represents chord. Measure the length of OX using your ruler. Measure the radius and you should get 3.5 cm. 4b. Another circle has a radius of 18 cm. Calculate the circumference of this side circle. Circumference of a circle goes by the formula 2 pi r, where r represents the radius. So since the radius that the question has given us is 18 cm, keep that into the formula and it will give you the answer as 113.0973355 and round it off to 3 significant figure, and that will give our final answer as 113 cm. 4c. In this part, all angles are in degrees. A, B, C, and D lie on a circle, center O, diameter AC. So AC is the diameter. XY is the tangent. XY is the tangent. Use the information in the diagram to complete these two simultaneous equations. 9x plus 3y, 9x plus 3y is equal to 90 degrees because our radius and a tangent always meets at 90 degrees. 18x minus 4y is also 90 degrees because angle in a semicircle is always 90 degrees. Solve your simultaneous equations. You must show all your work. To tackle this question, I have used elimination. Our first equation goes by 9x plus 3y, which is equal to 90 degrees, and the second equation goes by 18x minus 4y equal to 90 degrees. I multiplied by 2 for the first equations so that we have similar x values. So our updated first equation will be 18x plus 6y equals to 180, which I put as my equation 3, and copy back the equation 2 under it. Now we just minus off, so 18 and 18 they cancel out. 6y minus negative 4y, minus and negative they will become positive, so it become 10y. 180 minus 90 will give us 90, so y is 9. When y is equal to 9, we substitute this value into our second equation, and this will give our x value as 7. Question 5a. A closed box in the shape of a cuboid has length 5 cm, width of 4 cm, and height of 2 cm. Draw a net of the box on 1 cm square grid, and you should get a diagram that looks something like this. Next, a container is a cube with a volume 1 meter cubic. Work out the maximum number of these boxes that can be packed into this container. Take notice that the volume of this cube is in meter cubic, whereas the volume of the box that we will get is in centimeter cubic because the units are in centimeter. So what I did was I changed my meter cubic to centimeter cubic. To change meter cubic to centimeter cubic, we have to multiply it by 100 times 100 times 100. So that will give us 1 million centimeter cubic. And the volume of box that we should get is 5 times 4 times 2, which will give us 40 centimeter cubic, because to find the volume of a cuboid, we multiply its length, width, and height. So now, to find the maximum number of these boxes that can be packed into this container, we take the volume of the container divided by the volume of the boxes. So we will get our answer as 25,000. Next, a shop sells 3 different sized boxes of rice. The boxes all have the same cost per kilogram. So box A is 80 rupees for 750 gram, box B is 1.35 kilogram, while box C is $3.50. Work out the cost in rupees of box B. To tackle this question, I took my 80 rupees divided with 750 gram to find how many rupees cost per gram. So we get 8/75 rupees per gram. Now this 8/75 rupees, we want to multiply it with 1.35 kg. However, we need to convert our kilogram to gram because our original unit for mass of box A is in gram. So 1.35 times with 1000 and multiply it with 8/75, we should get 144 rupees. Next question, $1 is equal to 64 rupees. Calculate the mass of box C. Give your answer in kilogram. So $3.50 times with 64, that gives us 224 rupees. These 224 rupees, we divided it with 8/75, which we got rupees per gram, and that will give us 2100. Since they want in kg, we have to divide by 1000, and that will give our final answer as 2.1 kg. Next, change 75 centimeter cubic into liters. Give your answer in standard form. We know 1 liter is equivalent to 1000 centimeter cubic. So we take 75, we divide it with 1000, we will get 0.075. Simply converting this to standard form will give us 7.5 times 10 to the power of minus 2 liters. Question 6a. The diagram shows a fair 9-sided spinner. The number on the spinner are 2, 3, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, and 8. The spinner is spun once. Write down the probability that the spinner lands on the number 8. Number 8 only repeated once in this spinner, so the probability that it lands on number 8 is just 1 out of 9. A number less than 7, it can be 2, 3, 5, 5, 5, or 6, 6. So the probability is 7/9. 6AII, the spinner is spun 135 times. Work out the expected number of times the spinner lands on the number 6. So we have 2 repeated 6. So 2 over the total numbers that we have, which is 9. 2/9 multiplied by the number of times it is being spun, so which is 135, and the number that we expect the spinner lands on number 6 is 30. 6B, Hitesh throws a dice 80 times. The results are shown in the table. Write down the mode. So the mode is the number with the greatest frequency. In this case, it is 2 because the frequency is 16, which is the greatest. Work out the range. The range is by taking the greatest number, subtracting with the smallest number, which is 6 minus 1, and our answer is 5. Work out the median. The median is simply 3 because from 4 to 6, the frequency is about 35. From 1 to 2, the total frequency is about 31. And so in between, we have is 3. So the median is 3. Calculate the mean. The mean, to calculate mean, total number of thrown multiplied by its frequency divided by total number of frequency, and that should give our answer as 3.35. Question 7a, 1 mile is equal to 1.609344 kilometers. Change 6 miles into meters. Give your answer correct to the nearest meter. Multiply 6 by 1.609344 to give us 9.656064 kilometer, and then we times it with 1000 to convert it into meter and round off to nearest meter will give us 9656 as our final answer. 7b, the bearing of a boat from a harbor is 322 degrees. Work out the bearing of harbor from the boat. So the bearing of boat from harbor is 322. So that means we have over here, this part over here is 38 because 360 minus 322 is 38. That means the bearing of the harbor from the boat is by taking 180 minus 38, which is 142. The boat is 12 kilometers from the harbor. At 2:30 p.m., the boat starts to sail to the harbor. The speed of the boat is 5 kilometers per hour. Work out the time the boat arrives at the harbor. So we use the formula speed is equal to distance divided by time. So in this case, we have to find the time. We take the distance, which is 12 kilometers, divided by the speed, which is 5 kilometers per hour, and that will give us 2.4 or 2 hours 24 minutes. So to find the arrival time, we take the starting time, which was 2:30 p.m., and we add back the time that required for the boat to arrive at the harbor, which is 2 hours 24 minutes, and the expected arrival time must be 4:54 p.m. That is our answer. Next, the scale drawing shows the position of Shakti's house and Mari's house M on a map. The scale is 1 cm represent 4 kilometers. So if we use our ruler, we will find out that this is 9 centimeters, which means 36 kilometers this line. Measure the bearing M from S. So using a protractor, measure this angle here and you should get 107 degrees. Now, this scale drawing shows another map with Shakti's house S marked on it. The scale of this map is 1 cm represents 5 km. Mark the positions of my house M on this map. So the first step is to take the distance we have gotten earlier, which is 9 cm multiplied by 4, which gives us 36 km for the first one. That is the first mark. And this 36 km, since it says in now this time around 5 km represents 1 centimeter, so we take 36 divided by 5, so we should get our distance as 7.2 centimeter. So draw your distance as 7.2 centimeter. Draw the similar bearing of M from S, which is 107, and your M will be right here, and that will be the final answer. Question 8a. Complete the table of values y is equal to x squared plus 6x minus 160. So just substitute your x value that they have given. In this case, they substitute 10 into your x here into this equation, key in them into your calculator, and you get your y value. And using this information, plot your graph, and you should get a graph that looks something like this. Now, the question says, write down the equation of the line of symmetry of the graph. So the equation, to find the equation of the line of symmetry, we use x is equal to negative b over 2a, where our b represents this part of the equation, which is 6, and our a is our x here. So our b is 6. Our a, since it doesn't have any value here, it is just 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. So negative 6 divided by 2 is x is equal to negative 3. And that is our line of symmetry for this graph. Question B, find the coordinate of the lowest point on the graph. So the coordinate of the lowest point is asking for the minimum point of this graph here. So since we already have our x value, we just take our negative 3, we substitute it into the original equation, and we should get our y value as negative 169. So that will be our answer. Next, use your graph to solve the equation x squared plus 6x minus 160, which is equal to 0. If you notice, the original equation that they had given us was also x squared plus 6x minus 160, and they say that this equals to y. So that means we can actually equate this whole equation as our y. So we have a new equation that forms, which is y is equal to 0. So draw your line, which is y is equal to 0, which is simply your x-axis. So now we need to find out where the intersection point of the graph and this line. So we have one at x is equal to 10, the other one at x is equal to negative 16. Those are final answer. Question B, rearrange the formula y is equal to mx plus c to make x the subject. So I moved my c to the other side, and I drew my m over the other side as well, which became divide. So our final answer is y minus c over m. Question 9. Tarak has two fields. He grows wheat, barley, and corn in his field. The diagram shows Tarak's two triangular fields PQR and PRS. Angle RPS is 90 degree and angle PRS is 53. PQ is 174 while QR is 120 and PR is 126 meter. Show that angle PRQ is 90 degree. So to show them that this triangle is a right angle triangle, the square of these two sides, which is 120 and 126, must equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Just use the hypotenuse rule to prove that it is a right angle triangle. Next question, calculate the area of the quadrilateral PQRS. If your answer correct to 4 significant finger, meaning they're asking the total area of this diagram. So first, let's find the area of PQR. It is pretty simple. Just use the formula for a right angle triangle, which is half times base times height, which is base is 120, height is 126, and that will give us 7,560 meters square. Next, let's find the area of PR and S. First, we need to find out the length of PS, and to find the length of PS, we can use tangent because we have one angle given here, which is 53. So tangent 53 is equal to TOA. Since tangent is TOA, opposite, our opposite is PS over adjacent. Adjacent is PR, which is 126. Our PS is unknown, so we are finding for PS. So PS is equal to tangent 53 times 126, and we will get our answer as 167.20766475. Take about 4 decimal places to avoid premature rounding. So since now we already have our length of PS, we can find the area of PSR. To find the area of PSR, we can again use the same formula that we have used for the area of PQR, which is half multiplied by base times the height that we have found, and we will get our answer as 10534.0788 meters square. And the last step is to add this total area up, and we will get our answer as 18,090 meters square, rounded off to 4 significant figures. Question B. The mass M tons of wheat grown in 2021 is 4.3 tons, correct to 1 decimal place. Complete this statement about the value of M. Since it talks about 1 decimal place, so our rounding value will be 0.1 divided by 2, which is our rounding value is plus minus 0.05. So M is less than or is equal to 4.25 and greater than 4.35. BII in 2020, 2.6 tons of barley is grown. In 2021, 3.25 tons of barley is grown. Show that the percentage increase in barley grown from 2020 to 2021 is 25%. So to find the percentage increase, we take the latest amount, subtract it with the previous amount, and we divide it with the original amount or the previous amount, which is 2.6. and times with 100. So we will get 25%. BII. Next, in 2019, 2.4 tons of corn is grown. In 2020, 20% more corn is grown than in 2019. In 2021, 20% less corn is grown than in 2020. Calculate the amount of corn grown in 2021. So I have broken them down here. So we have on the first year, which is on year 2019, it was 2.4 tons of corn grown, and on 2020, it is being increased by 20% of 2019's value of the corn. So 20% of 2.4 is actually 0.48. Since it is increased, we add that with the original value, which is 2.4 plus 0.48, and we should get 2.88 tons that have been grown on 2020. Now, to find the amount of corn grown on 2021, it says that it is being reduced by 20% of the amount grown in 2020. So the corn grown in 2020 was 2.88, and the 20% of it is 0.576. Since it is being reduced, so we minus 0.576 from 2.88, and the amount of corn grown in 2021 is 2.304 tons. That is our final answer. So that was our last question. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in next paper.